Und jetzt lassen wir uns unseren Betrag nehmen. Seid ihr bereit? Nur wir! Nur der soll uns mal angehen.
In Germany, we have a saying. Der DFB-Pokal hat seine eigenen Gesetze. The DFB-Pokal has its own rules. Rule 1. It's built on German heritage. Across alpine landscapes, past foundries ablaze, through Gothic arcades to the Brandenburg Gate. Rule 2. Every club has a claim. From coast to crest, from east to west, 64 teams united by one dream. Rule 3. The giant's journey starts away. No stage is too small. No club is too great. The biggest names must answer to fate. Anything is possible. Fortune favors the brave. New legends are made. A favorite might fall when the underdog stands tall. Rule 5. In Berlin, history is written. Until your time is up, you can write your own story, and when you lift the cup, you can taste the glory. This is the DFB-Pokal. It has its own rules.
Hello everyone, welcome to our live coverage from Wiesbaden on the banks of the Rhine. From Mainz as the players arrived a little earlier on, the local side from the third tier, Wehen Wiesbaden, hoping to cause an upset in the first round of the DFB-Pokal against one of the big boys, Bayern Leverkusen, two-time cup winners and beaten semi-finalists in each of the past two seasons. Wiesbaden have only ever beaten a Bundesliga side once before in their entire history. It was Karlsruhe 17 years ago in the round of 16, so it really would be quite the story were they to embarrass their illustrious visitors today. But all the big clubs in Germany know today, above all others, they are very much in ambush territory. A regional cup title secured Wiesbaden a place in the DFB-Pokal this season. They won the Hesse Cup for the 9th time last season to qualify, and as the only third division side in that tournament, they lived up to their billing as favourites. In 11 of their 17 cup campaigns, today's hosts have been knocked out in the first round, and that, of course, is the most likely outcome this afternoon, though far from assured. They made just one quarter-final. It was in 2009 when they were in the second tier. Lost to HSV Hamburg in that one. But just that one win over a Bundesliga club in all of the years. Bayern Leverkusen, the Champions League for the coming season with a 6th place in the table. A new era under a new coach, Carlos Martinez, a 42-year-old Spaniard, has come in. They're beginning the season with a new coach, just as they did last year. Erik ten Hag's first match in charge was in the first round of the DFB-Pokal, and saw the Workself win 4-0 away to the Sonnenhof Roslersbach. However, they parted company with the Dutchman after just 2 Bundesliga match days. Kasper Schulman took over. He's gone as well now, so Martinez has now succeeded him. This is his first competitive match in charge. They've gone pretty well actually during pre-season. They've played 7 friendlies. They've won 6 of them, including the most recent one, a 2-1 victory in England over Newcastle United. Well, the Britta Arena in Wiesbaden enjoying a sprinkling of rain at the moment, but busy as you would expect for a match of this import. Look how packed it is behind the goal as the players prepare to venture out for this opening match in the cup competition. First ever meeting between Wiesbaden and Bayern Leverkusen. They know what could lie ahead, the players from the Bundesliga side. Leverkusen have been knocked out of the cup by lower league opposition in 6 of the last 10 seasons. Wonder what lies in store today. The joy of the first round of the DFB-Pokal comes to Wiesbaden. The chance, however small, for David to make life uncomfortable for Goliath for 90 minutes and occasionally get the better of him. Bayer Leverkusen, today's team, hoping to avoid the early season banana skin a week before the Bundesliga season kicks off. 2 teams today, separated by 2 divisions and vastly differing ambitions. Wiesbaden have only ever beaten a Bundesliga side in the competition once before. Bayer Leverkusen have lifted the trophy on 2 occasions, reached 2 finals in the past decade, and have fallen in the semi-finals in each of the past 2 seasons. Anything can happen on a day like today, though history tells us that in this famous old competition. Florian Stritzel makes way in goal for Noah Berdard today, who makes his first ever cup appearance. Defender Justin Janicek once got to the semi-finals of the Junior DFB-Pokal with Bayern. Ben Nink is a German under-19 international. Lukas Schleimer scored the goal that secured their place in this season's competition. Moritz Flotto leads the attack and scored 12 goals last season. Well, we've got an experienced team in charge of this one today. Our referee is Christian Dingert. Well, Leverkusen go with Janis Blaswich over Mark Flecken in goal for this one. Defender Edmund Topsobo was named as the new club captain as recently as yesterday. There's a competitive debut for new signing from Napoli, Miguel Gutierrez, alongside him. USA international Malik Tillman scored in both of their knockout games at the World Cup finals. New arrival Afonso Moreira starts on the left. Czechia international Patrick Schick leads the attack. First big test of the campaign for Bayer Leverkusen, and the Bundesliga season hasn't even started yet. They've started in the 3rd tier, which is where they and Wiesbaden reside, and it hasn't started very well for them. They're 20th in the table in the third tier. They haven't got a single point on the board so far. Carlos Martinez, the Spanish head coach, formerly with Toulouse. It's a new adventure for him with Leverkusen, and a big day, of course, for the head coach of the home side, Daniel Schöning. Referee Christian Dinger will be underway. First ever meeting between these two. Change strip, predominantly white shirts for Leverkusen today. The first round of the DFB-Pokal underway in Wiesbaden. Leverkusen kicking from right to left in the first half. New captain, Tapsoba, Patrick Schick, has been named as the vice-captain. And Tapsoba taking over from Robert Andrich, who's injured at the moment, by the way. Put a strong line out for this one. First touch of the ball for Gutierrez, who they signed this summer from Napoli, and Garcia looks to spread the play away over to the far side, where it's collected by Vasquez. Tapsoba into Gutierrez. Leverkusen will be in the Europa League this season. Didn't quite manage to make it into the Champions League spots. 32 points in the first half of last season, 27 in the second half. Left them a little bit short of their hopes for destination. Cut out by Max Brandt. Vasquez with the little touch, where it's collected by Schick. Here's Alex Garcia. Garcia, by the way, will be in the heart of the midfield this season. Spanish player, signed a couple of years ago. Maybe an early sign of things to come. Domination in the opening 90 seconds of the match in terms of possession by the Bundesliga side. Tillman away to the right. Bade. Gutierrez. Schick making tracks through the middle to try to get on the end of it. It's headed clear by Fechner. The attempt wayward off the boot of Moreira. Moreira, summer arrival, an Portuguese under-21 international. They signed from Lyon in France. Came through at Sporting in his native Portugal, but only had the one season in French football before. Schick underneath it. Tidied up, Gillikin's away. The opportunity here for the third division side to venture forward into the box towards Floto. No joy for Kuzushiri. Moreira. Fernandez, neat and tidy play. Tillman gets involved. Schick almost on the end of it. Smart keeping from Noah Berdar. Florian Stritzel is their regular number one. He's on the bench today. They've conceded 7 goals in the opening 2 league matches of the season. The 21-year-old Berdar gets an opportunity today. He was actually first choice between mid-January and mid-April last season when Stritzel was out injured, so he did have a run of games in the first team. Debut in the DFB-Pokal for him. Lucas Vasquez with the throw. In towards Schick. One in the air by Jordi Gillikens. Foul on Max Brandt. Schick the main man up front for Leverkusen still. 16 goals in 28 appearances in the Bundesliga last season for him, 22 in total. Sober, who's been a long-term player for the club, one of the only players remaining from the double winning season under Xabi Alonso. Ball in towards Tillman. Bade with the head start. Max Brandt underneath it. Janitsek sending it forward. Nicely done. There's a tidy look about that passage of play as Afonso Moreira ventures forward. Got away from Gino Fechner. Wiesbaden in the third tier. The last one promotion to the second division in 2023. In a playoff, they were hoping in their centenary year last season that they might gain promotion. As they headed into the spring, they were still in a decent position, but it rather faded and fell away at the back end of the campaign. Eki Fernandez on the end of a robust challenge from Fabian Grellinger. Gutierrez, new arrival, just had the one season in Serie A with Napoli. As we're going long, and Schick penalised by referee Dinger. Jordi Gillichens, the Belgian defender. Second season with Wiesbaden for him. Out by Bade, collected by Garcia. Here's Gutierrez. Schick will chase. Safely guarded by Justin Janitsek. Available on the near side to receive the pass. Collected by Grellinger. Chased by Schleimer. Offside. Possession so far in the opening 8.5 minutes for the Bundesliga side, as Leverkusen look to apply some pressure here, and Gutierrez Fernandez, Garcia tidied up initially by Grellinger. Morera for Leverkusen. Gutierrez in support. That was Tillman forcing his way into the penalty area. Alex Garcia. Leverkusen, two-time winners of the competition, also eliminated at the first hurdle in the round of 64 on 9 occasions over the years. Heavy landing here for Max Brandt. Arrival at Wehen Wiesbaden, the team in the Southwest Regional League, SSV. 10 minutes in, and the third tier side yet to get close to Blaswick in the Leverkusen goal. Is that about to change? They're claiming a handball. Referee not about to give them anything for that. Will be a corner though, and an opportunity to put Blaswick under pressure. In goal, and it's Tarek Gusushirin who is across to take it. Just the sort of opportunity they need to make the most of, set plays. And it was Schick with the header away. May, they're the player making sure that Morera didn't have a free run into the host's half of the field. Tapsoba. Tapsoba, 271st appearance for Leverkusen today, the international from Burkina Faso. Collected in midfield by Lukas Schleimer. Fechner's ball into the penalty area. Challenge too robust on Tillman. And the free kick conceded. Here is Gutierrez, Tillman just ahead of him on the near side. Tapsoba into Loic Bade, closed down and just kept it away. The forward rushing figure of Fabian Grellinger. Garcia into Gutierrez. Sneaking in behind the defence and finding the back of the net was Patrick Schick. Everybody looking across immediately to the far side for the flag to be raised. And let's have a look here, clearly in an offside position. guided the header home really well, Patrick Schick, but offside, so it remains goalless. Tidied up by Garcia. Lovely little step over from Eki Fernandez. Fernandez, an Argentinian midfielder. They signed him from Al Qadisiyah in the Saudi Pro League last season. Played in the DFB-Pokal quarter-final win over St. Pauli last season. No save for Blaswick to make in the opening quarter of an hour here. Garcia. Bade. Has Vasquez available on the far side, but decides that Moreira is a better option. Gutierrez. Patient but dominant so far from Bayer Leverkusen. Schick gets the free kick for a little nudge. Martinez there, big season ahead for him. And an untidy tangle there and an awkward fall. Edmund Tapsoba challenging inside the penalty area. Not much of a summer's day in Wiesbaden, it must be said. A slightly autumnal feel about it. Rubbing his head there was Grellinger, Fabian Grellinger, the wily old campaigner, heading towards 200 matches in the third tier of the German game. Grellinger. Can they create something here? Tarek Gozushirin to take it, and referee quick to blow his whistle. Fernandez involved once more. And the referee keen for this one to be taken again. So Gozushirin once more. They look to create something, and there is a save that needs to be made by Blaswick, with Floto loitering in case anything spilt his way. That was better from the third tier side, Wehen Wiesbaden, and it just Bounce kindly for the goalkeeper with Floto loitering. First little flurry of activity inside the Leverkusen box in this first round tie in the DFB-Pokal. One of the big days of the year in German football, with the big names, the fancied teams, the heavyweights, all forced to go away from home to all corners of Germany. Each of them facing potential banana skins right at the start of the season, but here come Leverkusen, who've got a strong record in this competition in recent times, reaching the last four at least in each of the last 3 seasons. Edmund Tapsoba there, dealing with that one without any undue stress, and Miguel Gutierrez, as Garcia drops a little bit deeper to collect possession. Trying to force an opening, Janitsak there to clear. Minutes in and not too many scares for Wiesbaden so far. Ishik, Garcia, now Gutierrez. Can they create a clear opening? That was a little bit better, and successfully defended by Wiesbaden. Solid look about Daniel Schöning's side, who, as I mentioned at the start, haven't started the season very well. We've played 2 league matches, losing 3-1 at home to Preußen Münster and 3-0 away to Würzburger Kickers. Moritz Floto will chase, try to put Bade under pressure. Granninger backing him up, Floto has it. Away from Morera, good play here. Floto can't find a teammate though, and Bade able to pick out Morera on the near side, and there will be a free kick for that. It was clumsy from Grellinger. And a yellow card. Tapsoba, Garcia. Run made by Tillman. Putting some pressure onto Fechner. Sweeping that forward. A little bit too far for Ibrahim Maza on the far side. Well, we're a quarter of the way through this cup tie. Nothing in it so far. And here we see roughly 75% possession for Bayer Leverkusen, which is perhaps no surprise, but only the one shot on goal and nothing on target from either side so far of note. So far so good then for Wehen Wiesbaden, who are staying in this cup tie, looking to cause a few problems. Grellinger. Garcia nudging it clear. Kick conceded by Janitsek. Schick wasn't hanging about taking that. Tillman finds Gutierrez, Moreira available near side. This is Garcia, and now Moreira. Suddenly the hosts are backtracking rapidly. It's with Alex Garcia. Tillman can't quite get a touch, and racing into the box as well, Lucas Vasquez. This was a bit better from Leverkusen. Struggling to create clear opportunities in the opening quarter of the game. Bade involved in quite a physical duel. Tapsoba. Pressure on Tapsoba when he was in possession there at all. Bade away to Vasquez. Fernandez. Wiesbaden just happy to maintain their structure and keep their defensive shape as best as possible. Grellinger just outmanoeuvred in the heart of midfield, having quite a tussle there with Eki Fernandez. Link available on the near side, it's in towards Floto. Tidied up by Vasquez. Tapsoba. Very calm and composed in a tight situation. Schick makes tracks in the middle. Moreira just goes past the Czech striker. Collected by Vasquez, the former Real Madrid player. Second season at Leverkusen for him. Injury rather affected the first one. Bade wins it back. Collected in midfield by Schleimer. Schleimer's got some support. Floto waits in the middle. Grellinger now will try to feed it in towards Floto. One or two encouraging signs as the half wears on for the lower league hosts. Encouragement there for Daniel Schöning and his team. Grellinger. This is Floto. Guzashirin. Stadium holds just over 15,000. Absolutely packed for this cup tie. Fernandez, hoping that this is the day that their team, for only the second time in their history, can get the better of a Bundesliga side in the cup, having done so against Karlsruhe in 2009 in the round of 16. Leverkusen will know that any sign of complacency could be their enemy and undoing on a day such as this, not least because Wiesbaden pushed Bayern Munich all the way last season, in August of last year in this competition, and it took a winner from Harry Kane in injury time to secure Bayern's passage into the next round by 3-2. It was quite an epic cup tie. And they're standing their ground so far against Bayer Leverkusen. Afonso Moreira. Ibrahim Mazar into Garcia. He wants the ball back and gets it. It's the Algerian international, Mazar. He's got a good record in the cup, by the way, the number 30 for Leverkusen. This is his 8th cup tie. He scored 4 goals in 7 previous matches in the DFB-Pokal. Fernandez flicking it forward. Tillman into Schick. Flag has gone up straight away. We're half an hour in, and they may be separated by 2 divisions, but they're not separated by anything in terms of the scoreline at the moment. It's in towards Floto. Blasvik under real pressure. Moreira panicking a little as he tried to clear. And another encouraging moment for the third tier side. But now, as the match just starts to open up, Mazza brings it away. Schick in the middle. Moreira's up there too. And now, with the ball at his feet, it's Afonso Moreira trying to find a way through. It was never really on. Not enough pace or power, never mind direction, to get the better of Noah Burdar. Here is the action at the other end. Blasvik there with a really important punch ahead of Moritz Floto. He's really got his hands full there trying to keep tabs on Floto. He's got a strong physical presence. Mazza concedes the free kick with a sturdy tap challenge. Foul on Nicholas May. So Leverkusen just being forced back at the moment here. Buzashirin leaves the free kick, doesn't quite reach its intended target in the middle. Here's Gutierrez, 25-year-old, another former Real Madrid player. Both the fullbacks are former Real Madrid players. Lucas Vazquez as well. Gutierrez just that 1 year in Italy. Played quite a bit actually. Appeared in most of the matches in Serie A last season. Here's Vazquez up in support. Tillman now with some space. Moreira unable to make contact, and here's Gutierrez. pushed over the top, and the whistle blows anyway. So wouldn't have counted, but Berdar with the save regardless. Well, patience is going to be key here for Bayer Leverkusen in this cup tie. They remain relatively dominant in terms of possession of the ball, but finding it difficult to create clear-cut chances. But there was plenty going on inside the penalty area there. Nonetheless, Berdar made the save. Gutierrez losing out initially to Nink. And it's a corner. Well, the fans of Wehen Wiesbaden will be very happy with how this cup tie is panning out so far. They had considerable success in making life difficult, at least for Bayern Munich last season, before finally succumbing right at the end of the game. And they're playing their part in this cup tie so far. 10 minutes to half time. Nothing in it against last year's semi-finalists, Bayer Leverkusen. Real thicket of players there in the near post area. Firm header away. The initial one from Patrick Schick and the second one from Morera. Decent ball in once more. Test for the Leverkusen defence. Good play by Ibrahim Azar. Time to look out and try and pick the pass. Not too many further forward at that moment. Garcia into Malik Tillman. Played all of the matches for the USA at the World Cup finals in the summer. Tillman, he scored in both of the knockout games against Bosnia and Herzegovina and Belgium. Schick into Fernandez. Here's Maza once more. Vasquez available far side. Alex Garcia. Away from Grellinger. A little heavy-footed with that one. It's a real chase for Morera. No surprise that he couldn't quite keep it in. First competitive outing for Carlos Martinez, the new Spanish coach of Leverkusen. Previously spent 3 years as the head coach at Toulouse. His task, if possible, is to recapture the successful form that the club enjoyed under Xabi Alonso. Easier said than done, of course. Loic Bade up against Moritz Floto. Here's Schick. Maza. Well, not only did he move it away from the traffic, moved it away from everybody. This is Garcia. More route one for Schick. The shirt betrays the effort that he's been making in this first half. Absolutely soaked. But no joy for Leverkusen so far in this first round tie. And Wiesbaden are right in it. Blasvik going long, Justin Janitsek able to collect. Garcia with a handy interception there to get the ball off Janitsek. Tapsoba steps in. congested in that middle third, and everyone taps over, beaten by the pace of the ball. Teams with one effort on target so far in this first half. Not a great deal of activity or jeopardy in either penalty area for the most part. Could be an opportunity here, and the shot coming in from Schleimer, taking a deflection behind for a corner. It was Schleimer who scored the goal that secured their place in this season's competition when they won the Hesse Cup last season, the regional competition. Chase here, Moreira prepared to make it, his second favourite. Tidied up by Schleimer. Relatively quiet afternoon for Berdar, the goalkeeper, up to this point. First time touch from Nink. Vasquez back with Bade, the Frenchman, came from Sevilla last August. Miguel Gutierrez. Alec Tillman, nicely done into Schick. That was a terrific turn, but again solid defending. This match is starting to have a little bit of an awkward look about it for Bayer Leverkusen. A long way to go, of course, but they are not finding it easy to create anything in front of goal so far, despite their overall dominance of possession. 3 more minutes plus added time remaining in the first half. Alex Garcia, that's a lovely ball. In it goes to Tillman, trying to tee it up. Maza with the shot. Schick pounces. Deadlock broken. Patrick Schick, as so often in his career, was in the right place at the right time when the ball fell his way. And at last, Wiesbaden's defence is breached by the Bundesliga side. It was a lovely pass from Garcia. The little knockback from Tillman, the shot, the deflection, fell kindly. It deflected off Gillikens at the back. Shot from Maza, but then Schick was there to pounce. He was in the right spot. And in the blink of an eye, the ball's in the back of the net. Wehen Wiesbaden 0, the Bayer Leverkusen 1, and the Czechia international Patrick Schick is the goal scorer. Header forward from Garcia, Tillman underneath it. Advantage played by the referee, and Moreira brings the save from Berdar. search of a quick second goal there to give them a nice cushion with half-time just around the corner. This is Lucas Vazquez back into Loic Bade, and now with Alex Garcia. Gutierrez, decent looking ball, trying to find Schick once more. He's giving the defence all they can handle at this point. I think Janicek was the defender who stood firm and did enough on that occasion. And we've got just the single minute at the end of this half. Relatively free-flowing cup tie so far. Guzashirin losing out in midfield. Free kick for Wehen Wiesbaden. Garcia intercepting. This is Edmund Tapsoba. Well, there goes the half-time whistle. We've seen a few flurries of activity from Wehen Wiesbaden, but it is Bayern Leverkusen who have the lead at half-time. They've had the vast majority of the play, it must be said. The goal coming just a couple of minutes before the interval. Patrick Schick pouncing on a loose ball inside the penalty area, having already had the ball in the net but disallowed correctly for offside earlier on. But the Czechia international who has scored the goal that separates the teams at the break. Wehen Wiesbaden of the third tier still in this tie. There's only one goal in it so far, but at half time it's Wehen Wiesbaden 0, Bayer Leverkusen 1.
This is the DFB-Pokal. Drama, excitement, goals. 64 clubs started, only 2 remain, and just one of them will put their name on that trophy. Will it be Bayern? Will it be Stuttgart? The DFB-Pokal final kicks off. 2 sides that know all about winning this season. Well, Urbig had to make sure he got down for that. Maximilian Mittelstadt. Odyssey's ball for Harry Kane! He's done it! A goal in every round! Oh, there was a big chance. They thought they might have had a corner at the very least. Oh! Harry Kane, he might have another go. Here he comes. Harry Kane again! It's 2! That'll do it for Bayern with 10 minutes to play, surely. No way back. Harry Kane, record breaker once more. Olise has got himself in the box outside of the boot. Big appeal for handball. Referee points to the
Well, 1-0 at half-time, the scoreline in our featured match. Let's take a look at some of the statistics. Bayer Leverkusen, of course, 2 divisions higher than Wiesbaden. 7 shots from the visiting side in the first half, rather more, dominating most of the statistical categories during the first half in terms of possession. And, well, you can see 3 times as many passes and greater accuracy in that passing. That is precisely the sort of thing that you would expect to see. But Wiesbaden have been very much in the game throughout the opening half and only conceding shortly before half time. Just the 1 yellow card, and the XG, as you can see, not enormous for Leverkusen, but very small for Wiesbaden, and 70% possession for the visiting side during the opening half. Well, the moment of the half came just a couple of minutes before half-time. Here is the moment of the half, the key moment of the tie thus far. It was the moment when the breakthrough was made, the little deflection falling at the feet of Patrick Schick. That was the last thing that Wehen Wiesbaden needed, and Schick, not about to pass up that unexpected opportunity, was unlucky, Gillikens, as the ball just deflected off him into the path of the Czech striker. Here it is once more, excellent ball in, Tillman with the little layoff, the shot and the deflection off the defender straight into the path of Schick. Quickest to react, pouncing on the chance. And there's your opening goal, scored by Bayer Leverkusen. Well, this is the first round of the competition, and other matches going on at the moment. Nothing in it between Energie Cottbus and Augsburg, and Leverkusen, of course, in our featured match with the advantage. Hertha Berlin in action today as well, and Hoffenheim, Nürnberg at Viktoria Köln, and Lüneburger SK Hansa hosting Werder Bremen. One to look forward that as well among the fixtures on this very busy weekend of first round cup football. RB Leipzig also on the road against Eintracht Trier. Well, we're getting ready for the second half in our match, but don't forget, we've got a couple of featured matches to look forward to, and they will be excellent.
Holstein Kiel sensationally knock out Bayern. Saarbrücken have won it against Bayern.
Crosby, but the goal is open. Can he find it? Oh my word!
This is what the DFB-Pokal is all about. For the first time in 6 years, Bayern have won the DFB-Pokal.
HEBC Hamburg have qualified for the DFB-Pokal.
They won it again for the third time. Borussia Dortmund, DFB Cup winners.
It's in! HEBC are running away with it to QSE and scores magnificently.
So a couple of ties to very much look forward to. 1 goal in our featured match so far. Wehen Wiesbaden 0, Bayer Leverkusen 1. Patrick Schick, the scorer of the goal in the 44th minute. Let's take a look at the highlights of the first half. Well, Bayer Leverkusen in their change strip. on the front foot, and Patrick Schick for a moment there thought that he'd beaten the defensive line to head his team into the lead, but the flag correctly raised over on the far side. Just that he made that run a little too quickly, putting him in an offside position, so it remained goalless. And Wiesbaden certainly played their part in the first half, and Blaswijk there forced to make the save at the feet of Moritz Floto, as the header down fell invitingly inside the 6-yard box. Garcia involved in the attacking play here, got past Tillman, and also racing in was Vasquez at the far post. Encouraging sign there for Leverkusen, who'd been struggling to create clear opportunities in a first half in which they had, as you would expect, dominated possession of the ball. But Wiesbaden periodically put pressure on the opponent's goal. Important punch there from Blaswijk ahead of Floto. Encouraging signs perhaps at that point for the third tier side. But Maza able to venture forward as defence turned into attack. Moreira had eyes only on one thing, but scoring a goal never really looked on there for the young Portuguese player. Unable to get the pace and the power to really test the home goalkeeper Noah Berdar. But Blaswijk with an important punch at the other end, preceding it. And here the key moment in towards Tillman, the shot coming in from Maza, the deflection falling at the feet of Patrick Schick. 44th minute, opening goal of the match. Nice move, the block on the initial shot from Ibrahim Maza, deflecting off Jordi Gillikens into the path of Patrick Schick. That's the last person you'd want it to fall to if you were a player for Wehen Wiesbaden. And Schick finding the back of the net to ease any nerves at half-time for Bayer Leverkusen, putting them in the driving seat in this cup tie, but still with 45 minutes to go. It did look as if they were really starting to go through the gears. Again, moments after the goal, Afonso Moreira with a stinging shot, bringing the save from Berdar. So a very positive end to the opening half for the visiting side, and a 1-0 lead to go with it. So the crowd just digesting what they've seen during the opening half here in the southwest of Germany, in Wiesbaden, the famous old Spa town, and just the one goal. And Schick, as we've just seen, finding the back of the net shortly before the interval. Can't deny that on the balance of the play that Leverkusen deserved the lead, but all the while that it remains at 1-0, Wehen Wiesbaden will quite correctly feel that they're very much still in this DFB-Pokal tie. Remember, they came from behind on a couple of occasions this time last year against Bayern Munich, and were only beaten 3-2 with the last kick of the game, a goal scored by Harry Kane. So they're far from out of this tie. Had too many chances worthy of the name in the first half, but they only need one to work out, and suddenly the game will have a different feel. Terrific modern stadium, open since around 2007, 15,000 or more just packed in for this one. We've had some rain showers during the first half, hopefully that will hold off for the second period. Leverkusen trying to avoid the banana skin of the first round of the competition. They made it all the way through to the semi-finals last season, but they have come unstuck against lower league opposition on several occasions in recent years. 6 times in the last 10 seasons, including a couple of years ago in the semi-final. They lost to Arminia Bielefeld in the semi-final away. They were a third-tier team at the time, and they were beaten in that game. So there have been some very early exits for them, including in the first round by a team in the third tier, Elversberg, in 2022. Elversberg, by the way, are the team that they're facing in match week 1 of the Bundesliga next week. They also lost to Karlsruhe, who were in the second division in the second round 5 years ago. There's a whole host of matches in which they have come a cropper over the years, but more recently it's been an excellent record with a runners-up spot in the Cup 3 seasons ago and a semi-final place in each of the last 2. Can they go better this year to add to their Europa League campaign as they once again start the season under a new head coach? It was Erik ten Hag at the start of last season, which then became Kasper Hjulmand, and is now Carlos Martinez, as the players start to appear for the second period of this first round tie in the DFB-Pokal, the round of 64. There's the man who scored the goal that separates the two sides, Patrick Schick. Display from the visiting fans. Well, that's Daniel Schöning, the head coach of Wehen Wiesbaden. He'll be pretty happy, I should think, with the way that his team have performed so far. A little bit frustrated to have conceded a goal shortly before the break. Final checks being made by our referee, Christian Dinger. I reckon we're ready to go at the start of this second half. Remember, we have to have a winner today as the sun appears right on cue. No changes made by either side at half-time, by the way, as the ball was initially sent forward off the boot of Schleimer. No joy for Tillman. Here's Edmund Tapsoba, the newly named captain of Bayern Leverkusen. He's the captain under the new head coach, and Patrick Schick, the new vice captain. Those two announcements made only yesterday. Garcia. I was happy to leave that one. Killikens. Nicholas May getting his head on that one. Brandt chasing in midfield, beaten to it by Tillman. A little bit of space now opening up for Alex Garcia, who finds Afonso Moreira. This looks rather promising for Leverkusen. Into Schick, who brings the save. And it's the second goal from the tightest of angles, Lucas Vazquez. What a start to the second half. A minute and a half after the restart, it's 2-0. Lovely flowing move. Schick's header turned away by the keeper, who was then beaten at the near post by Vazquez. It's only the second time that he scored for Bayer Leverkusen following his arrival last year. Schick's header was a decent one, and Vasquez squeezing it through the most acute of angles. Wehen Wiesbaden 0, Bayer Leverkusen 2. And the Bundesliga side sitting a little more comfortably now with the cushion of that second goal. So they scored a couple of minutes before the break, and less than 2 minutes after the restart have added to that lead. So again, the complexion of the tie has changed completely in the last few minutes of play. Suddenly it looks a long, long way back for Wiesbaden. Here now is Fernandez, now Vasquez, scorer of the goal. Enki Fernandez. A little bit of pressure. Miscued pass by Max Brandt for Wiesbaden. Collision with one of his opponents there from Garcia. Not quite coming off. Challenge was sturdy but fair. Referee had a good view from Vasquez. Here now is Maza. Leverkusen taking the handbrake off a little bit here now. Bade. Good cleared by Fechner. Short, sharp, neat, tidy sequence coming to an end. Frenchman Bade. Garcia. Lovely, sharp, crisp passing collected by Schick. Tillman was running into the penalty area, no foul. This is with Fernandez once more. Tillman as they look for number 3, and Schick. Bade. This is Tillman looking to cause some more problems for the home defence. Miguel Gutierrez backing him up. Gorelingo with the chance to head it clear. This is Maza. Free kick for the home side. Finally, I think we're ready to get on with the game once more now that we have a ball. And Gillikens with the free kick. The pass goes astray though, off the boot of Nicholas May. Here comes Fernandez, who gets the free kick. Referee again, referee Dinger in a great spot to see it. There was the pullback on the shoulder of Eki Fernandez. Garcia, player who arrived from Girona a couple of years ago, spraying it over to the far side, looking for Moreira. Promising 21-year-old Moreira, under 21 for Portugal. Tapsoba. Garcia. Free kick conceded by Gillikens. Challenge on goal scorer Lucas Vazquez, who made a lot of appearances during his time at Real Madrid, 402 in total before moving last year to Germany. It's Garcia sliding in, momentarily winning the ball back. Chases on, Nicholas May. He's got Moritz Floto in the middle, but Bade was quickly across, shutting the door in Ryan's face. They'll have to keep his eye on there, just in front of the goalkeeper. May with the throw. Controlled by the goalkeeper Berdar. A free kick there as well. For the challenge by Malik Tillman. Home team quick to get on with it, desperately need a goal just to give themselves a glimmer of hope and a route back into the game. A few thoughts being offered up to his team from Coach Sherney. Just over 10 minutes into the second half. A free kick there. Nicholas May on the end of that. First time he started this season actually, he's come off the bench in the opening two league games. Midway through the second half in both of them. From the youth player with RB Leipzig a few seasons ago. It's Justin Janicek who takes the free kick. This is Tarek Guzashirin. This is better. And Grellinger though was challenged by Malsa. For May once more, Schick trying to pick out Malik Tillman. Here's Guzashirin. If you get a goal, it would bring the tie to life. Just out of reach for Grellinger. Lucas Vasquez, score of the second goal. Tapsoba, Garcia. Here goes Tillman. The opening goal scored by Patrick Schick shortly before half-time. And the second goal shortly after the break, scored by Lucas Vasquez. Jarell Quansah is getting ready for his what will be his first appearance actually of the season. He's been having a rest after being with England at the World Cup finals during the summer. Good play by Ibrahim Maza. Solidly defended, shielded there in midfield by Schleimer. Brandt's ball collected by May. Schick has come to the near side this time. Tapsoba into Fernandez. Is Alex Garcia. Barde's ball forward, lovely exchange. Ibrahim Maza and Malik Tillman. Maza's full of tricks and he's going to get a free kick as well, just outside the box here. Good opportunity here then for Bayer Leverkusen. To presumably definitively put the tie beyond reach if they haven't already. Miguel Gutierrez and Alex Garcia discussing the best way forward. Garcia strikes it. And they'll have a corner kick. And it's going to be the same player who goes across to take it. Quite a hush falling around the stadium, the Brita Arena. Chance for Maza, who struck it well. Going for a spectacular goal. And here we are with take two. Bade at the far post. And an easy opportunity to get the ball away. Totally dominating possession of the ball here, managing the play very nicely indeed. Of course, with that 2-goal cushion, it's with Bade. Now back with Tapsoba. Alex Garcia is directing a lot of the play. Interception made though by Ben Nink on the far side initially. Moreira tussling, held back, and well, he wasn't to be denied, but the referee quite rightly didn't like the look of that whatsoever, and Gino Fechner goes into the referee's book for this blatant professional foul, this cynical foul on Moreira. So Eki Fernandez comes off. Jarell Quansah is on. Lucas Vasquez is off. And so is Patrick Schick. So a triple change. By Carlos Martinez here with 25 minutes to go. Christian Kofane is waiting to come on, the Cameroon international. And it's way too long, that'll be a goal kick. So we're seeing some substitutions being made by the home side as well. Sinan Karbina is coming on, Max Brandt going off, and we're also seeing Ayub Shakoun. The reason that Kofane is still on the sidelines is because he's got to stand there for a minute or so until the ball goes out of play, because Schick was a little too slow in coming off the field. Pressure being put on Malik Tillman. First touch of the ball for Jarell Quansah. Mixed World Cup, of course. He played a role for England, but did see red in Mexico when England won that match in the Azteca. He was sent off in that game, which led to a 2-match suspension, so he was frustratingly on the sidelines. for the following couple of games after that. Midway through the second half, and what would appear to be a relatively comfortable lead here for Bayer Leverkusen at the moment. Have Wehen Wiesbaden got enough about them to make a cup tie of this? Can they get a goal that would perhaps give them some hope and change the feel around this game? Bring the home crowd back to life a little bit. Those two goals just over the side of half-time seem to have taken it out of reach. Niklas May with the throw. This is Janitsek. Just looking for that little creative spark, or indeed that lucky bounce, if they can get the ball inside the Leverkusen penalty area to at least get them on the board. May with the pass. Janitsek collects. He was just too ponderous. It's won back by Kafane, and now here come Leverkusen looking for a third goal. Lovely tee up, and the deflection carries it in. Shot from Nathan Teller makes it 3. Game, set and match. Bayer Leverkusen. And it's going to be a winning start in their first competitive match under their new head coach. Too ponderous in possession there, Janitsek, and really made to pay for it. Malik Tillman with the initial pass. The little flick set up Nathan Teller, who's only just come off the bench. It was Ibrahim Maza. Clever play. And Teller with the goal. 20 minutes to go. 3-0 Bayer Leverkusen. Quite the way to announce your arrival on the field. And the thoughts of Daniel Schörning, no doubt, pretty soon turn to the next league matches, which are home next Saturday to Rot-Weiss Essen. But they'll still keep plugging away here, trying to find a way through. Shot coming in from Tarek Gujushirin. Yeah, Rot-Weiss Essen next, then are away to Hansa Rostock a week after that. Still looking for their first point of the new season, beaten in both of their opening 2 league fixtures. The Bundesliga starts next week. So this is the first competitive game of the season for Bayer Leverkusen, who have had a good pre-season, some success from their friendly matches. And there'll be a free kick conceded by Şakun. Free kick for the challenge on May. Leverkusen only lost one of the last 6 away matches at the back end of last season, and they've been very solid in this one. New era, new look, but a very professional job they've done in this game up to this point. Gujushirin, too heavy-footed. It's a comfortable take for the Leverkusen goalkeeper for the day, Janis Blasvik. Maza losing out. Grellinger forward, collected by May. Grellinger will try again. Tillman, cleared by Baden. That's really good play there from Ben Nink initially, who continues his run there. Tapsoba with the block off and Nink with the cross. A move which promised more than it rather delivered at the end. Glasvik, experienced backup goalkeeper for Leverkusen. He's 35 now, former Leipzig player. 11 appearances in the Bundesliga last season for him, and half a dozen in the Champions League as well. He played in the round of 16 in the Champions League against Arsenal. Mark Flecken, who arrived from Brentford a year ago, was their first choice. He's on the bench today. Garcia. Free kick for the challenge on Gutierrez. So Loic Pade's day's work is done as he makes way, and Facundo Medina comes on. It's his first appearance. Facundo Medina, who played in the World Cup final for Argentina, new signing from Marseille. He's on. Changes at the back as well. Jordi Gillikens going off for the home side. So bringing on Simon Stehler. Stehler, who signed last year from Saarbrücken. He missed almost the whole of last season through injury. He's on. Fifteen minutes to go. Can Wiesbaden play their way back into this time? Just one shot on target from the home side in this game. Found it hard to create anything in front of goal. Maza, not fouled, said the referee. Was certainly in a great spot to see it. Flag has gone up. Referee says no foul there, but you could see on the pass forward, Carvino was a mile offside. Kwanzaa. That's a lovely ball. Ibrahim Maza sending it across. Good save by Noah Boda to deny Kofane. Leverkusen going in search of a fourth goal. It's a real banana skin of a weekend for all of the big teams in Germany. The first round of the DFB-Pokal, and It's an annual thing, they all know it's coming. It's a match which has been negotiated superbly by Leverkusen as they make another change, and Ezequiel Palacios comes on. Miscue from Tapsoba. Pressure still on. Tillman's ball is inviting. Almost met at the far post by Kwanzaa. Tapsoba's header. Forward by Fabian Grellinger. Referee says get up, no foul, no free kick. Collected by Teller. Here's Kwanzaa. Here come Leverkusen again with Moreira. Kofani, number 4. And it is a very convincing looking scoreline indeed for Bayer Leverkusen. Last year's semi-finalists in the competition, safely negotiating their trip to Wiesbaden and winning in style with room to spare. He scored in the first round of the competition last year, and the international from Cameroon has done the same here today. Well, no fairy tale for Wehen Wiesbaden today, clearly. They've got work to do to get back on the right track in the league as well, in the third tier. Here's Tapsoba. It's turned out to be a nice afternoon out in the sunshine for the visiting fans, and not surprisingly it is they who are making all the noise so far, packed in behind the goal, enjoying a comprehensive victory for their team under their new captain, who's got the ball at the moment, with Tapsoba. Here's Alex Garcia. Palacios into Kwanzaa. Just playing out the last 10 minutes of this cup tie now. And Garcia's pass is a really good one, setting away Jarell Kwanzaa, and look how much it's opened up for him, and the ground that he's been able to cover as he sends it into Kofani. Palacios again, no joy for Moritz Flotto, who hasn't had a sniff in this second half. Nathan Teller, one of the goal scorers for Leverkusen. Moreira waiting patiently over on the far side. Tillman loitering up by the edge of the penalty area. This is Gutierrez. Facundo Medina settling in alongside Tapsoba in the heart of the defence. A complete domination of this cup tie by Bayer Leverkusen. It's a throw. They change. Grellinger makes way and is replaced by Ibrahim Atiala, 19-year-old, who made his first team debut on the opening day of the new season and has started both of the league matches that they've played so far. Atiala is on. Is there going to be a consolation goal here for Wehen Wiesbaden? Right across the face of the goal from Carvina. They got away from Malik Tillman. Just over 5 minutes to go. Medina. Into Alex Garcia. He scored 2 against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League last season. Garcia, the misfortune for him and Leverkusen was it was on a day in which they suffered a horrendous 7-2 defeat. Very much out of character with how the last couple of years have gone, but heavy defeat nonetheless. It's Europa League rather than Champions League this season for Leverkusen to look forward to. Here's Garcia. Tapsoba, Quantzer available near side. Touch from Palacios. And Medina, the new side. Tillman and Teller not quite on the same wavelength there. Inside the last 5 minutes of this cup tie. They had to come back from 2-0 down against Bayern Munich here last season. Wehen Wiesbaden, and they managed it as well, getting it back to 2-2 before finally succumbing right at the end of the game. But there was never really any sign of that happening today. Held by Leverkusen at bay for 43 minutes, but since that first goal went in, it's only ever going to be one likely winner of this cup tie. Slow to unleash a shot at the first opportunity. We've seen that earlier in the game. Headed down by Atiala. Layoff coming from Stehler. Here's May. Decent ball in, but just a little behind Floto. Here's Facundo Medina. Sober. Gutierrez, Garcia, now Kwanzaa. Nathan Telemann waiting patiently on the near side. Carvina's little ball inside. Forward off the boot of Shakun. TLR chasing. Free kick. There's Gutierrez on the deck. Last minute of the 90 now, and a very successful first competitive outing for Carlos Martinez, the new head coach of Bayer Leverkusen, third head coach they've had in the last 12 months, following on from Erik ten Hag and Kasper Schulman. Here's Garcia. Now it's Malik Tillman. Tillman with a good ball into Teller. "90 minutes all but up. Not sure how much additional time we'll have. Just ventured a little too far forward there. And we have a minimum of 2 additional minutes, which begin now. Morera, backed up by Gutierrez. Janecek. This is Tarek Gosushiri. Off the boot of Berdar. Maybe time for one last attack. Moritz Floto. Nothing falling his way in the final third. No real threat on Janis Blaswich's goal. Kwanzaa. Shirin for Wiesbaden. This is Carvina. Shirin didn't quite fall at the feet of Ayub Shakun. And there goes the final whistle. It is a professional job, very well done by Bayer Leverkusen. It took them almost to do the halfway point in the match before they broke the deadlock through Patrick Schick, but the tie effectively was over a couple of minutes after half-time. Lucas Vazquez putting Carlos Martinez's side 2 up, and they never looked back from there. Nathan Teller midway through the second half made it 3, and then Christian Krafani with the goal in the 79th minute completed the job. Never did it look as though they were about to come unstuck in this first round tie. An excellent victory for Bayer Leverkusen. It has finished Wehen Wiesbaden 0, Bayer Leverkusen 4. So a successful start to life as the new head coach of Bayer Leverkusen for Carlos Martinez, who of course has got European football to look forward to this season as well with his new club. But a strong performance throughout. They showed patience during the first half, finally took the lead short before half-time, and then got the job done with room to spare in the second half. So they're hoping for a good season this season, and certainly a very good start to it. And Berdard, the goalkeeper for Wehen Wiesbaden today, brought into the side, having sat on the bench for the opening couple of league matches, held the opposition at bay for most of the first half, but finally beaten by Schick, and then those 3 second half goals, completing a very comprehensive and comfortable victory for the Bundesliga side against the third tier team who go out of the competition again at this stage, this time very much going to form. So the match statistics, I guess the all-important one of course is the actual scoreline, the 4-0 scoreline for Bayer Leverkusen, but I think all the underlying statistics as well will back up the victory for them. 17 shots on goal, 9 of them on target, nothing on target from Wehen Wiesbaden during the game, and the XG there reflective of what we've seen as well. They actually had just over two-thirds of the possession to Bayer Leverkusen. It was a pretty comprehensive job they have done in beating their opponents. Remember, they've lost to lower league sides in 6 of the past 10 seasons in this competition, so victory for them today was far from a given. They know the pitfalls of these sort of occasions. They've come a cropper several times in recent years, but today that was never about to happen. So nice way to start there for Martinez. They've had a good summer, 7 friendlies they've played leading into the start of the new season. They've won 6 of them, including at Newcastle United last week. Well, the camera operator there, delighted that the weather has picked up, no doubt. It can be a pretty windy, lonely spot there when it's cold and raining during the winter. It's a little bit damp during the first half at times as well, a few showers passing through, but as you can see, the weather rather better since half-time. Good return to the team for Jarell Quansah as well, his first appearance since the World Cup, and Facundo Medina coming into the side during the second half. Gutierrez as well, a very solid debut for him, the new signing from Napoli. And they start life with a victory under their new captain, a very familiar face in Edmund Tapsoba, who's been there for quite a while. He'll be heading up to 300 appearances with the club this season. Those fans who've made the journey will be glad they did. Much for them to enjoy in an excellent team performance. And the new head coach able to mix things up a little bit during the second half as well and make some changes, and was something of a revolving door during the second period. Players enjoying the moment with the fans. Semi-finalists in each of the last 2 seasons, and beaten finalists the year before that. They'll be hoping to go deep into this season's DFB-Pokal as well. Terrific turnout for those fans on the road. And two new faces getting used to the post-match routine following a victory. And they can look forward to the start of the new Bundesliga season. The opening game of the season is also on the road next weekend at Elversberg.